Okay, 131,000 stress units. Pretty nice, and this will run indefinitely. And it's like it is only consuming the equivalent of 4 logs every 40 seconds. Bentornati, and welcome back to Create Above and Beyond, where the emptiness of this room promises a nice build, I think. Well, I hope. At least I hope you will like this build. What are we talking about? You might remember from the previous episode that we spent a little bit of time trying to figure out furnace generators, and I had a pretty simple setup with just straight up oak logs coming down from this line of chutes into, well, practically both slots of a furnace generator. But then, off camera, I figured out the difference between a generator. Let's go furnace generator, right? The difference between a furnace generator on top of a furnace and a furnace generator on top of a blast furnace. The difference being a lot of stress units, like a lot of stress units, okay? I think it's like double or something like that, but basically it's like tens of thousands of stress units per engine if you use a blast furnace. The difficulty in there is that blast furnace recipes are different from simple furnace recipes. And for example, there isn't a recipe that would let us smelt something that we have, let's say, an infinite availability of. Now, sure, I might set up a slime tree farm. That's true. We could do that, and we could have an infinite production of sky slime crystals or something like that. However, why? Especially when there is a way to practically get the blast furnace running all the time using the same item. Now, you might have seen this already, but I think I found a slightly different way of handling the timing. Because, what am I talking about? Let me try and explain. The entire thing revolves. Let's start getting one of these for now. So imagine this is the blast furnace with our stuff going into. Oh, I think I forgot the one crucial piece, which is the slime. So I'm gonna get it right now. So with our sky slime balls, let me get back to explaining this. So what I mean is that basically, in order for the engine to work correctly, the blast furnace needs to be burning something all the time. And we can absolutely burn charcoal in here. And charcoal for us, it's infinite because we have infinite wood, and that wood can very easily and very cheaply, actually for free, we can turn that into charcoal if we put it in front of a bulk blasting setup. Okay, so our classic lava and fan, and the thing turns into charcoal, right? So we can have infinite charcoal. Now imagine there's 64 pieces of charcoal in here, right? We need this to run all the time. The blast furnace runs if there's something to smelt or to burn or something, right? The thing is though, we don't want to consume this sky slime ball. What we do is we put a chute in here and a fan on top. When the fan like sucks air up, the sky slime will be sucked out of the blast furnace and remain in the chute. The crucial point to get right about this, although, is the timing, because the sky slime balls will turn into sky slime crystals in 20 seconds. However, a single piece of charcoal will burn for 40 seconds in this blast furnace. So what we need to do is to make it so that the sky slime balls stay in the blast furnace for less than 10 seconds, but this period of, let's say 4 seconds, okay? For a total of 4 seconds, but this 4 seconds needs to be exactly centered around the time when the blast furnace finishes burning one piece of charcoal and starts burning the next one, okay? I can try and explain this also like this. So imagine this is our furnace, and now I'm representing the time it takes for a single piece of charcoal to be burned, okay? This line represents time. And this moment here is where a single piece of charcoal is burned, okay? Now, if we have the means of detecting when that piece of charcoal stops burning and we start burning the next one, what we can do is to use cleverly our, let's say, adjustable pulse repeaters and power toggle latches to say, okay, you know what? Now I started burning another piece of charcoal, right? I'm gonna wait for 2 seconds, and then I'm gonna make it so that the sky slime ball doesn't fall into, but gets taken out. So like 2 seconds after we started burning the next piece of charcoal, we make it so that the sky slime is taken out. But then we need to also make sure that skystone gets into the furnace 2 seconds before the previous piece of charcoal is consumed, right? How do we achieve this? Well, let's say that the very first piece of charcoal we need to set up manually, and after that it's a cyclic process. So again, if we can detect the exact moment when the first piece of charcoal has finished burning, what we need to set up is a system where we do one pulse, okay, after, let's say, 38 seconds, so 2 seconds before the 40-second burning time expires, which would be here, and this can be set up like so, right? We scroll up to 38 or something, okay? But then, since we also detected this and we need to take out the slime ball, we also say, well, okay, after 2 seconds, I'll take it out. Now, after the first setup, and again, provided we can detect this exact moment, this is gonna run forever, okay? Because when this expires, the slime is taken out and sits in the chute up here, and then after 38 seconds, which means all the way here, it gets back inside, so that when that piece of charcoal has finished burning, the slime ball is in there, and the next one can start burning, okay? Okay, I did my best to explain this, but I guess if I failed, you'll see it while I build it, and that will probably be clearer. That said, you might have guessed by watching the stuff that I have in here, we are gonna set up not 1, but 4 furnace engines, okay? And each of those will have its own chute on top with the encased fan on top so that it can suck up the sky slime balls, and it's gonna be glorious. Also, we need to set up our feeding mechanism in such a way that we have charcoal in here, and I'm gonna also explain why we need this charcoal to come in 4 different belts, and each of those belts need to have basically a single piece of charcoal at a time, okay? So let me do a little bit of prep work here. I need to clear up this, and also I think we will start by basically creating charcoal. I think up above would be a nice way to put it. I mean, no, maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe here is the best way to do it. Okay. So, okay, let me clear this out though, and I'm gonna think exactly where do I want the furnaces to sit, and then we can plan the rest. Alright, so this is where the 4 furnace generators are gonna sit. Now, as I said, they're gonna need to have, all of them, a chute on top of them. So something like this. Shift right click, and let's make them all transparent so that we can see something in there. Now, let's also get our encased fans. They are in here. I already had them on me. And jump up. And we do this, 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 and this. Okay? Those are the encased fan. Of course, they will need to get all connected. They will need to get connected to something. And I'm thinking we'll probably have maybe a water wheel to run all of these. Like they don't need to run exceedingly fast. That said, right? Let's see. We could get power from here, and using a belt like so, we make sure that they all spin at the same time. So imagine, these fans would be constantly spinning so that they suck items up, okay? But at some point, we need to stop them just so that the 4 slime balls can be dropped inside, and that needs to happen 2 seconds before there's a cycle in the consuming of the charcoal pieces, I think, if that's maybe a way to say it. So in order to stop the rotation, we are gonna need a clutch, like so. And I guess, you know, we are gonna get power from maybe here somewhere, okay? Something like that. There's no need to think about that right in this second. Now, we will need to feed, of course, charcoal in these furnaces from this side. Now, in order to do that, we want to have these 4 andesite funnels, like so. And the trick is 3 of them are gonna be fed through belts in a really, really simple manner. Now, I'm only setting up this temporarily. These belts are gonna take a totally different shape because we need to feed these 4 lines from a group of 4 andesite, not andesite, brass tunnels, okay? Because with tunnels, we can split the charcoal evenly, and we can say that the charcoal needs to be like 1 item per belt, okay? That's very important for our method of basically ensuring that we can detect when a piece of charcoal is being used. Now, this method works as follows. We're gonna have a depot in here, and of course this is gonna be set up to input the charcoal inside, and then we're gonna need one of my favorite items. You know it, it's the weighted ejector. Now, this weighted ejector is basically gonna work as a buffer, and the presence of an item inside this buffer is what is gonna tell us what is happening, okay? So imagine that I set up this so that it shoots in here, and it really doesn't matter. It can sit right here if I want. Now though, I need to go and get a few stacks of charcoal just so that I can demonstrate this. Alright, I am back with the charcoal. I'm gonna preload a full stack of charcoal inside each of the blast furnaces. Now, this is important, especially this furnace here that we are gonna use in order to detect, you know, the right time to act, needs to be in equilibrium. Like it needs to sit on a full stack of charcoal, right? And what's gonna happen is that 2 seconds before one of these 64 pieces of charcoal is used, this is gonna drop in. Then 2 seconds afterward, this is gonna be taken out, and this is going to continue to run like this, and this cycle is going to repeat indefinitely, okay? And you have in here the demonstration that this is going to give us 32,000 stress units times 4. So it's pretty good. It's a pretty good setup. Now let me show you what happens. I need to start generating a little bit of power, but I guess I can do it like so, right? What I need to do is to tell this guy that I want him to only get up to 1 item in there at a time, okay? Now this thing, it's now sitting on a full stack of charcoal, and there's gonna be in here also a belt that moves items there, and let's say for the sake of convenience that these guys are all connected like so, right? Okay, let's move this from here to maybe, okay, let's do this and this, okay? And there's gonna be also pieces of charcoal all over the place, but 1 at a time. That's the important thing, one at a time. Now, if I take this and I place it here, wait, this is the only one that is not connected. Now it is. So, okay, see what happens? So, this is gonna shoot a piece in here, and then this is gonna wait for this to finish burning, basically. But what if I do this? See? 1 goes in, and this thing, again, shoots. Now, while testing, I was in more than one occasion on this situation where either this depot would accept a piece of charcoal to sit in here, or it wouldn't. I don't know exactly what was causing this, but basically the thing is, either you detect that this is empty or you detect that this is empty. Really, it's the same exact thing, because as soon as this is done, if there is power going through... Oh, wait, not as soon as this is done, but as soon as this is finished consuming a piece of charcoal, this happens, and this is now free, right? But the thing is, as soon as this is free, this is gonna shoot a piece, and so this is gonna be empty. And so if that's empty, we can detect an empty weighted ejector like so. Okay, let me show you also what happens when there is an item on it. Okay, see? So this is our equilibrium. While this is on a standstill, there is a piece of charcoal in here, and we get a signal. However, let's say that this happens, this signal is interrupted, and it's interrupted for the entire time while this thing resets. This fact that this redstone comparator goes from a high signal to a low signal, it's what is gonna allow us to know exactly when to drop and when to pick up the slime balls, okay? Right. That said, first of all, we need to make it so that we can have a constant supply of charcoal coming in here. The way to do this is as follows. Now, we have our lines going in here, and I guess we can start getting, let's see, I may want to do the blasting in here, so maybe these guys can get a little bit longer, but maybe not too much, because the thing is, I want to get from a position where I have 4 belts that are next to each other to this position where the belts are staggered, okay? And this, I think, is the way to go, basically. Wait, no, not there. But here. So here and here, of course, turned the other way around. And then these can come let's say here, and I can extend this like so. And you get this way. So this is a belt, this is another, and this is the third, and this is the fourth belt. So basically our blasting happens in here. So wood is turned into charcoal in this area, and then around here is where I guess I need to extend these a little bit more. No, maybe not. Maybe not. I don't need to. Maybe I need to extend only one of these, the input one. Okay, so yeah, the blasting could happen in here, and then I need to get my 4 brass tunnels, and I can say, hey, like so, and these brass tunnels which are connected are need to be set up in this mode when multiple outputs force split. Force split is really important. Force split means that they never, under no circumstance, make it so that one belt is going to receive an item and another belt no items, or maybe one belt doesn't receives one item and another belt too. Okay. The only other thing we need to ensure is that the input to this is always going to receive 4 pieces of charcoal. So if there's 4 pieces of charcoal in here, and we make this, we let it run, let's make sure they are all connected. We do this. We have 1, 1, 1, and 1. Okay, and let's say one of the belts is all stuck. There's items on every place. Well, if this block of tunnels cannot output in here, it will also refrain from outputting in the other 3. Okay, that's what the force split means. Cool. Now, what can I do to connect? So all these 4 are connected, and then I guess I can simply do something like this and have, let's say, one of these in here. This should make it so they are all connected now. And they are going, yes, they are going the right way, because if I do this, yep, pretty much, this is good. So we would route everything in the correct way. What else do I need? Okay, I can do the blasting in here, and I can absolutely leverage the fact that brass tunnels can have a filter. So if this is our input, this thing can only get charcoal. This is important because I can now set up my blasting mechanism, my bulk blasting in here, and basically wood can stand in here, can sit still in here, not being able to get inside until it becomes charcoal, and then the tunnel will let it inside. So what I need to make sure that we have now is that we need to have exactly 4 logs in here. Okay, in order to have 4 logs in there, I can maybe do something like this and have a simple, yeah, why not? Let's have a simple oak drawer in here, and after the oak drawer we can have a brass tunnel, not tunnel, a brass funnel, and we can set the brass funnel so that it outputs 4 items at a time. So logs in here, stacks of 4 get in here, they arrive in here. There's a blasting wind going through here. While they are logs, they cannot get in. They become charcoal and they get in. And since it's a stack of 4, it gets split into 4 single item stacks. That, I think, is how it's gonna work. Now, I only need to route logs from there to here. How am I gonna do that? Well, I guess more belts, right? Belts are the answer. something like so. However, you go back one block, my friend, and then we have another belt like so, and this belt can go back like this, just so that we are sure to connect it properly. And let's test this. Perfect, perfect. And I guess a simple andesite tunnel or funnel. I always get those wrong. Single andesite funnel in there will suffice, okay? So we're gonna get just a bunch, a full stream of logs in here, and we can absolutely start it. Yes, we can start it because... Oh no, wait a second. Wait a second, guys. I just thought of a problem. There's a problem because if all these lines are stuck and the logs turn into charcoal in here, there's a chance that while sitting in there, charcoal can still become something else. Because if we look at recipes for charcoal, if you smell charcoal, it becomes activated charcoal. That's not great, but again, we can solve this problem, I'm pretty sure. We can solve this problem by... Yeah, why not? Why not? Look, okay, I have the solution right in here. Charcoal in here, and we do the blasting in here. This means that logs come down here, whatever, you know, the assortment is, however big the stack is, it's gonna sit in here getting blasted, and then this thing will act as a buffer, okay? And then from the buffer, we take out 4 items at a time, and then they get split. We don't need this anymore. Not that we can remove it, but anyway, that doesn't matter. There's charcoal in here, and so charcoal will get in there. Okay, okay, okay. This is gonna work. This is gonna work. So let's make it so we can have lava going through here. Okay, so lava will flow down here, and possibly a fan. Well, I just thought maybe let's do it the other way around. Okay, like so. Okay, you've seen this multiple times. Give me a second. I'm gonna make a little bit of lava come down here. Okay, our lava is flowing exactly in front of the entrance of this drawer, and then we can start positioning our encased fan in here, and maybe we can even hook it up and make sure this blows the right way. How about that? Let's see, can you give me a couple of these? Maybe it will suffice if we are lucky. If we are lucky, while this thing goes that way, this thing will blow in the direction we need. I'm gonna need to test this though. So let's see. The direction would be this one, and that doesn't look correct. It looks like the fan is actually sucking this way. However, I'm gonna simply do this, put a gearbox in there to reverse the... Oh, wait a second. Okay, okay, this is right. This is right. And look at this. Look at this. See? Like 4 at a time are gonna get out of here. Now, of course, I made a little bit of a mess because reversing this made it so that this belt was spitting items in here. But right now we have stacks of 4 getting split into stacks of 1 each. And I can even let it run for a second, like so. Yeah. Looks good. I don't know why... Oh, wait. Oh, of course, of course. I failed to connect this, and so this wasn't moving. And by the way, as you can see in here, this is what the force split means. Since this belt is stuck, also these belts aren't receiving items anymore. the tunnels will wait for all the belts to be able to receive items. That thing is still not going. Oh, of course. It needs also one in here, but you know what? At this point, I can do this and remove these. And this should be enough now. Okay. I think this should be enough. Okay, everything's moving. Everything but... What have I done here? This doesn't make much sense now, does it? This. Okay, is this gonna... Don't fling me. Don't you fling me. Okay. Now for sure. Everything is moving. Yes, everything is moving and all the belts are getting filled. And of course, as soon as one is stuck, also these one stop receiving charcoal items. Absolutely beautiful. Okay. So can I also hook these boys up in here? Now let's see. This needs to rotate like so, which is exactly the way this needs to rotate. Like that, right? And everything should be correct. Yes. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. I love it. Get me a few chutes. Thank you very much. Let's do this. Let's only have, let's say, 1 or 2 transparent. And now we can have logs coming down again. Let's go do that. So up here, I need logs to get in there. Now, how do I... Or actually, do I care for a specific amount to be in there? I don't think so. What am I doing in the name of create? Okay, now I found that actually the better way to get from a belt into a line of chutes is to have a depot in there, because basically whatever the stack size in here is, it's gonna be exactly the stack size that goes into the chute, and that's basically what we want. Now this isn't moving, neither is this, and that's because we need a bunch of things that I removed. I need this and I need this, because yeah, of course, neither of those is going in the correct direction. Why do you do that? Please. Okay, that's going. And now that would be going. Let's stop it for a second though, because I need one of these brass funnel. Thankfully, I have one. You know what? Give me 16 at a time. There you go. Those are stacks of 16 logs. If we get down here, stacks of 16 logs are in here now. The only other thing I need on this side, let's say on the feeding line side, is a little bit of power. And by a little bit, I mean enough power so that I can run all of this and this fan and also those 4 fans. And I want to keep this power separate from the power output of the furnaces, just so that, you know, if a little bit of a hiccup happens, at least the feeding line it's not gonna have problems. I think a couple of water wheels are in order, so let me go up a second. Let me kill that annoying zombified piglin, and I will grab also a couple of water wheels. See you in a second. Okay, so I think I'm gonna set up the water wheels right in here. I think I need to make more space for them though. They need to go one low. Well, I need to have more space lower in there, And so since they need to rotate this way, I think this... Okay, let me try and set this again. So, is this the block that needs to be... So, source block in here, there can be another source block in here. So this is the block that needs to be soul sand in order to get maximum efficiency. Right? Right. And then I need to open these up. Yes. Let me see. Yes. Yes, I think this is correct. This is how we get maximum flow. So let me get maybe a few of these. Just so we can contain the water, but also still see what's going on, which is what I like the most. Okay, I think this is what we want to have in here. This and this. Now, wait, this is not correct. This is on the wrong side. Also, this is on the wrong side. You're going there, there, and there. And now for the water. So 2 source blocks in there, and this is already running, and everything is rotating the correct way. Yes. I can also do this and this, and this is now full power. Done. The build is done. It's finished. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. So we're running the fan. Are we able to get the charcoal correctly in there? Yes, absolutely. That's what I want to see. Fantastic. Let's block the blasting wind in there momentarily, just so that I don't cook myself. Okay, now that the feeding line is ready, we need only to do one more thing. We need to hook power to this also. So give me some of these, and I need to turn one into a vertical, I think. And look at this, look at this. Almost on purpose. Looks like it's all correctly aligned. So let's do this. Now, are you spinning the right way, guys? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It's beautiful. Look at this. It's going the right way. Okay. So, with the thing going the right way, I think I can demonstrate now something else. Look at this. I put one of these inside, and whoop. This has refreshed immediately, plus, because we now have the fans spinning, you can see that the slime ball is... Stop flinging me. The slime ball is sitting in the chute. Fantastic. Amazing. And this, of course, now it's running because I gave it just for a split second something to work on. Let me put this thing back in here. Okay. Beautiful. Oh, this is coal, not even charcoal. This is coal. I don't even know. Oh, I got it from mining, of course. Oh well. Let's clean the inventory just a second. Now, one thing I can do is I can prime all these guys, like so. Because they are all gonna be operated in synchronous, exactly at the same time. So let's let them run for a second. Now, I could also, well, I mean, I could demonstrate this, the operation of a clutch, of the clutch with a lever, but I don't think it will be necessary. What I need to do now is just to build the redstone circuit just the way I did in my testing scenario. And it's gonna be okay. And it's gonna be cool. And it's gonna work. And you guys are all gonna be, wow, oh my god, Onion Man, this is so amazing. Okay, this is my plan. This is my plan. Okay, so we are gonna detect when this guy is empty. It doesn't have a piece of charcoal anymore because it was just flung this way, right? So what we need to do is to first of all turn this signal upside down, because right now it's on, but we need to detect when it goes off. So we use a NOT gate for this. Now when the NOT gate fires, what we do is we take this signal and we split it. That's not cool. I don't want it to do that. Can I stop it from doing that? Can you give me one piece of this? Now this might just work. Look. Boom. Nice. Nice. The dark oak plank strips, or I think any kind of strip, works in the same space of alloy wire and can stop it from connecting where you don't want to. So let's get these two lines in here. Well, no, I guess I don't even need this. Okay, so this will get a high signal whenever this is off, which means that the piece has gotten in. Now, starting at that point, we need to count. What? We need to count 2 seconds before we get the slime out, but also we need to count 38 seconds. So it's like 40 seconds, which is the time it takes for a piece of charcoal to burn -2, before we can put that slime ball back in, right? I know it's a little bit backwards, but you have to imagine that it's a continuous cycle. So 38 seconds from the last piece of charcoal, slime gets in, then this sticks, then 2 seconds afterward, slime gets out. And then 38 seconds again, gets in, this sticks again, 2 seconds, drops in. No, wait, 2 seconds get sucked out. Okay, reset the brain for a second. Now, this of course like every one of these signals need to operate the clutch, need to basically switch the signal that the clutch gets, and for that we can use a powered toggle latch. So now we route this signal in here, and then nope, that's not what I want. Then we do this, I think. Yeah, I think this might just work. Okay, so 2 seconds, 38 seconds. There are pieces, or I think slime balls, I should say. There are slime balls in there. Every blast furnace is primed. Now the way to start the cycle, I think, will be to simply switch manually this power toggle latch, because as soon as I do, this is gonna stop running, which means the fans are gonna stop running. All the slime balls are gonna get in, which means all the blast furnaces are gonna start consuming charcoal, which also means that this thing, it's gonna shoot a piece of charcoal in here, which means that this signal will be off, which means that this will be on, which means that this guy is gonna start running, and it's gonna start counting 2 seconds and then 38 seconds, but after 2 seconds this will switch back, and then 38 seconds is gonna switch back again. So should I do it? Let's do it. Go. Look at that. 2 seconds, switches again, which means we didn't even see it, but basically all the slime balls were dropped in and then went back up again. Oh my gosh, this is working and it's fantastic. It's amazing. Now, for the 38 seconds, right, it means 2 seconds before this expires. So let's watch it. It takes a while because, of course, it's a 40 seconds total for a single piece of charcoal. It's gonna be somewhere around now, maybe? Yes, 2 seconds, then another 2 seconds, and it gets away. But this thing is now running indefinitely without a single tick of interruption. And also, it sits pretty well inside a single chunk. I mean, well, not everything inside a single chunk. This portion is not in a chunk, but both the furnaces and the fans and the circuitry, it's inside a single chunk, which I think is important. And also, if you keep the chunks loaded, I think that's gonna help anyway. Should we now maybe connect all of our fantastic 4 furnace generators to see just how many stress units are reproducing? Let's do that. I think I need a belt, just so that I connect them all, you know, going in the same direction. So you here, yeah, maybe up to here, and oh, I need a stress-o-meter. Give me a second, I can fetch one real quick. Let's see, probably from up here. Yes, I have one connected on my windmill. So let's bring it downstairs now. Just drop. Who cares? Here. Okay. 131,000 stress units. I think that's pretty good. I think that is pretty amazing. Pretty nice. And this will run indefinitely. And it's like it is only consuming the equivalent of 4 logs every 40 seconds. That's the cost of this operation. 4 logs every 40 seconds. Like, this is so cheap. It's incredible. Now, before I let you go, let me explain for a second what is the benefit of this. Because you might have thought, okay, Onion, why don't you just run maybe a couple of timers? Well, that's a good question. The problem is, if your timers are not synced with your blast furnaces, let's say that your timers don't just run every, let's say, 40 seconds, but there's something in your circuit that adds even just one single tick to the entire count, eventually your clutch switching circuit, it's gonna be so out of sync that basically when you drop the item that you want to smelt, to trigger the furnace from continuing to work, it's gonna happen in a moment where it's basically pointless, right? So imagine you were set up to drop an item for 4 seconds, just like I did. If you get out of sync, those 4 seconds would basically move compared to the time where it's actually needed, so compared to the moment when the charcoal is used. So, for example, you might end up dropping, let's say, the thing for 4 seconds right now, which is useless, because then you pick it up, and then there is no item when you need it. So, this method of actually not having a continuous timer, but having a signal that is triggered exactly when a piece of charcoal is used, and then using that signal to have, the period to get the item out and then the period to get the item back in. This cannot get out of sync. In fact, if this was 38 seconds and 5 ticks and this was 1 second and 15 ticks, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. As long as the amount of time, between like this being before the end of the cycle and this being after the end of the cycle, if this is still below 20 seconds, it means that the sky slime ball will never turn into a sky slime crystal, which means this will run forever. It cannot get out of sync. Okay? And I think that's basically the added benefit of this solution compared to any other solution that involves timers that run on a continuous loop. Okay guys, this is gonna be it for this episode. I had a blast. I hope you liked it. If so, hey, why not being kind and maybe, leave a like. But more than that, if you have suggestions, if you want to say hi, if there is something you didn't like, consider leaving a comment. That is what I enjoy the most, because I get to talk to you guys. I answer to all comments every single time. So if you care, if you have a second, get in there and write something, say hi, or maybe give some feedback. I absolutely 100% appreciate it. For now though, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again in the next episode. Alla prossima!